It is now day 5. A new play is being rehearsed in the theater. I can't even talk to him. Oh, that's weird. I haven't even talked to him today, so it's just weird to not have the chance at all. Alright, so we have a new plague to hunt down. What the fuck-a-doodle? Okay. Jesus, I literally eradicated the plague yesterday. Why are there 4 plague districts today? That's not how I thought this worked. In fact, I thought that these pips meant each additional layer meant one more plague district, but it's only through 2 of them. And there's 4? Alright, so it's not gonna be that easy. So now I really want to get the plague stuff done on my first try when I try to do it, because it's gonna fucking bounce around to different different plague districts each time based on what I saw before. And that's going to be annoying. I need to load the prototype if I can. And I can't. Okay, so that's gonna be a problem for me. Novocaine, belladonna, oxbile. It's weird in its own right, just the fact that he trades the same resources. Definitely want to get this on our first try now because the resources are getting rarer. I wish that it was a little easier to tell which resources are even the ones I need, because there's a bit of memorization going on there. I kind of was just guessing just now. I'm like, are those the right 3 ones I need for the thing? Because the load the prototype screen doesn't actually tell you what to put into it, even though it's only the same one. I think it's the same ones every time. There might be other substitutions that work. High pet water carrier. Good day to you, Doctor. Here I am, at the ready. Excuse me. What are you here about? So much to do. Hard to remember everything. Oh, you weird little doctor. I'm Hypet. You know, the water carrier. Decided yesterday I'll carry your tubes. You and I did. That was yesterday? I thought that was 2 days ago. I spent a lot of time stuck in yesterday, didn't I? Them on the water for everyone. No problem for me. Useful for you. Of course. Thank you. Now I remember. Thank you for agreeing to do that. Thank God. Thought I got it wrong myself. Let me get this clear. Your carriage follows me, but only through the healthy districts. You need to risk your no need to risk your life or the clean water for the people. Stand where you're easy to see so that you can be found quickly, both by me and the thirsting citizens. So it's just a recurrent... They're really clear about trying to carefully re-explain things periodically to try to help players along and avoid having everybody give up on day 2 in the first game. That's how I always stand. You'll find me, don't you fear. In those sick houses. I'm scared of coming close myself. Any more instructions? No. Everything seems sensible. Until next time, Hypet. Building connections. Yep, so that's who Lara said that they sent along. That's a quality of life mechanic, basically. They're just kind of gonna be around. There are so many people in the building here. It sounds like such a great way to get sick. I don't see to any of those people, so it feels a little weird that they're just kind of hanging out in my house.
Every creak, like a gunshot.
But they specified that this place is weird and people don't like being in this building. And yet there's so many people in this building. Seemingly to see me, because I'm like the guy, but I don't talk to any of them or address any of them. I just leave. So So in context, it plays out a bit differently, or a bit weirdly. What's this guy doing? Get your hands off me. That's right. You should kick him with your feet instead. Today, it's no drinking. What will it be tomorrow? No breathing? Just have a little patience. The filtration will take some time, but it's a necessary measure. Patience. Ha! Let's give him a nice battering. See how much patience he has. Beating me won't speed up the filtration in any way. We'll see about that. I know this from experience. A good stick speeds up any process you put your heart into it. I have kids. Do you know what it's like? They've been asking for water since morning. Mom, they yell. Mommy, give us a single drop. A single gulp, please. Duralex, said Lex. Who you calling names there, you mongrel? Ugh. So this is the water filtration edict. They get so mad at every single step. Jesus Christ. On some level, I want to say it's a cynical look at people, but then I remember how these went, and I'm like, God damn it. Yeah, that's kind of like what it was like before, during all the other bits of plague I've lived through. I'm gonna go to Ruben first because he has a tendency to die, and I would like to go talk to him before he does that again. Trying to meet up with him for ages.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
What's this guy doing? Standing on this? Ah, my leg. My damn leg. What am I gonna do? What exactly are you doing, if you don't mind me asking? Huh? Nothing special, really. I'm standing still. Frozen, obviously. I can see that. But why on one leg? Don't ask me. Ask the town hall. You heard the new decree. They've abolished time. I was mid-step when the order came down. Now we're both stopped in our tracks. Both Time and I. Can't even scratch my nose or pass gas. I don't get it. So time stopped. Why should you? Out of solidarity, of course. It's the only decent thing to do. I stand along with time until they release it. Right. Let's hope time returns the favor when the time comes. Huh. I'm gonna ignore this guy, because this is an edict that both reduces contagion and makes people less unrestful or whatever, so I'm just gonna chalk this up as being a him problem. Showing off, trying to climb through the warehouse window. Look, another one. Come for water, huh? God could have given more marbles to a lot of you. You've been told the water's being filtered. No drinking. Go on, scram. Who's in charge of the filtration? No idea. They tell us to chase folks off, we chase them off. You want to know about filtration, you go to town hall. They make those decrees. Why does every decree in this town turn into some absurd dictatorial mockery? They'll tough it out. Won't kick the bucket from not drinking it for a day. Being thirsty is good for one's health, strengthens the spirit. Whose spirit would that be? The Holy Spirit. You can't spell human without endure. What? That's... what? Your father was a sagacious man. I hope he's dead by now. Insane dialogue. God, he's just such a prick. It's a whole game of being a prick. So many children at the warehouses. He's alive! I look at those? No? Yes, Ruben did have a theatrical streak, but he preferred eye-catching dusters to tight-fitting tights.
My fingers won't bend. It's the cold. That's all. It's just cold.
He would never had a grudge behind a mask.
What are you looking at? Do you find this funny?
I've been waiting, and now I see I'm not ready at all. I'm tired of skulking around. Secrets get heavier with time. And this one, I haven't the strength to either carry or drop. I hate you, Dankovsky. I hate how good it is that you finally came. For a man who climbed out of a coffin a day ago, you look remarkably well. Sometimes I think I should have stayed there, in the coffin. If you want, we can go back to the cemetery and I can bury you again. But first, answers. I saved your life after all. That must count for something. Very well. I have almost nothing left to give, but I can still give you answers. What have you been up to, Ruben, that everyone keeps trying to bury you? How could that be, Dankovsky? Didn't the people who sent you tell you why? They said you were the last to see Simon Kane. So you're a Kane hound now too, following the scent. Whatever they told you about me, it's all lies. I did not steal his body. Funny, I hadn't heard anything about stealing. Now I'm intrigued. You can steal goods, money, even time. Many things can be stolen, but can you steal what has no owner? Enough sophistry, Ruben. Answer the question. I did what was necessary. Please elaborate. I don't remember steal thy neighbor's corpse from the Ten Commandments, nor the Hippocratic Oath. What do you need the body for? What use is it to you? Tell the Kanes they won't succeed. I see the coffin did you no favors. I'm in this town because of Simon. I came here for him, so I'm looking for him. Deal with the Kanes yourself. If he wanted you to find him, he'd have let you know. You do know he's dead, right? We're talking about a dead man? Answer me, doctor. Have you ever witnessed a saint's flesh overcoming a deadly illness? Tell me, doctor, do you know how many ribs of St. Nicholas are kept in churches around the world? 200, give or take. And I saw a miracle. Alongside the red and white cells in his blood, there were silver ones. Nothing like it is found in nature. Silver cells. Amalgam? I made a vaccine from the blood and gave it to patients under observation. But I couldn't even test it. The Kane tyrants, along with those thick-headed steppe maniacs, would have ground me to dust. You made a vaccine from Simon's body. Yes. Why'd you decide you could make a vaccine out of Simon's body? It was living blood. Blood that fought back. The silver cells burned the plague away, like a vital, implacable sun. My hands were shaking. Tell the Kanes. Tell them. Man is imperfect. Wait, Simon Kane was sick. Yes, there was sand pest in him. I recognized the outward signs at once. The Kanes surely recognized it too. They were simply ashamed to admit their patriarch could die of a disease. But he couldn't. He only fell into lethargy. I saw the pulse in his pupils, and I had to. I remember the first outbreak. Just the thought that Simon's antibodies could be made into a vaccine. But if Simon didn't die to the plague, if he only fell into torpor, then you murdered him. Yes, you're speaking to a murderer. What a hill to die on. I didn't steal the body. I murdered him. Okay? To destroy an extraordinary man in the hope of saving others. And where is that hope now? I called it the white vaccine. I would give it to you, but there isn't any left. It's all gone. Reuben, there's no such thing as silver blood cells. Forgive my candor, but your mind is damaged. Maybe from the lack of air in that coffin. I saw them on the first day. Not today. Still, you don't have to believe me, Dankovsky. Odong, Kane hounds. They came for me fairly. They had cause to kill me. Damn. Even a madman wouldn't invent a meeting with Simon like this. What do I do with that? Oh, I do have the vaccine. What? I thought there was none left. Reuben dissected Simon's sacred body into a working vaccine. Never heard of anyone more blasphemous and magnificent. The Kanes asked me to find Simon's body. The body's been found. They must know. What will my scientific analysis say about the white vaccine? Perhaps it can even be replicated. There's the choice of informing on him or not. They say the body's been found, but what do they mean? Didn't I just... I thought I didn't get the body just now. There's a weird thing where you get multiple dialogue options, and they seem to all lead to the same place sometimes. I feel like none of the dialogue actually explained where Simon Kane's body is. But the quest log is then like, you found it! I'm like, what? I thought he specifically didn't tell me. Gorkon workers having lunch on a crossbeam. Nope. That's not what's happening. I don't know why I said that. Get my ass out of here for now. So I can head back first, check the vaccine, and then maybe I do inform on him. Either way, I have to talk to him about the other stuff. The Kanes about the other stuff. Doing my usual pattern lately of doing like one quest at a time. So, one or two. An incredible composition. I see a connection to the phenomenon I called amalgam. If I partake in Simon's final remains, time will yield before me. The shattered will meld. Time will yield before me, the shattered will meld. Oh, it repairs amalgam chunks that are broken? Wait, is one of my amalgam things cracked? It's cracked. Did that happen when I killed that guy? Maybe. It might have been a consequence of when I did a bit of a murder. I got just a tad of murder as a treat. Loot. Oop. There's even more. Hallelujah. Somewhat alarmingly, I have 0 healing items still, which can quickly become a problem for me. The instruments and reagents scream that the vaccine cannot exist. The main thing I understood, it won't cause harm. If I decide to take the vaccine, I'll leave it on the bedside dresser. I feel there's no rush. So this is a recurring thing, as we're finding out that in addition to gaining and losing the amalgam itself, you can also gain and lose your maximum amalgam, which is honestly scarier. But I think there was we had one broken shard of it as a tutorial for the idea that it could happen, and otherwise it hasn't happened that much. I'm not totally sure when it cracked though. Yeah, it wasn't made really apparent to me. I think that the amalgam gets zoomed in on when you do the killing a guy scenes. Oops. But it's not immediately clear to me if that's because it cracked or because it's because you gain amalgam for doing merciful kills. It might have been that when I messed up, I lost some maximum amalgam or damaged it so that it might break at some point. And then I think when I did it successfully in the merciful way, I think that's what made me gain like the 70 or so, which wasn't needed because I still was full, but whatever. My orderlies are true heroes, a symbol of hope. Vaccination's taking place here. If you came to get vaccinated, you were late. No more shots for today. That is unacceptable. You ought to administer vaccine to anyone who asks for it. Quiet, please. Don't you see my colleague is sleeping? All this running around. She's exhausted. Let her have some rest. There's a missing period. I didn't know this town goes for siesta. I hope that's not why this station is closed. Forgive me, sir, for being so blunt, but do you have nothing better to do? If you have complaints, bring them up with the hospital management. Don't pester us. The station is closed because we are out of vaccine. I wish this weren't the case, but we cannot administer shots without it. I am your hospital management. Then your arrival's perfectly timed. I hope you do something about the whole situation to avoid a shortage of vaccine in future. The vaccine is handcrafted, so there is no way we can speed up the production, alas. Handcrafted by who? Not me. I maybe get the initial sample, but then I fuck off. Somebody else is doing the mass work, if anyone is. No lootable boxes on the other side out here. Is this guy in here every day or something? Indoor raining. Is that snow? That's trippy. It does seem like time stops in here. Yeah, it's staying at 1519. Ah, this is my whole getup. There's that guy. Being all helpful. Healing items. Gonna want the matches too. Might need a bullet, but hopefully not. Excess of belladonna. Wow, CAFOR is next to useless. It only helps me by 3? Diction appears to be no joke. Alright, I have one whole healing item so far. Oh god, oh fuck, oh god, oh fuck. This is a case of returning to a day I've played before, so a lot of stuff seems to be already looted, so that's a thing to worry about. A little bit of that, prey moon crash logic going on to worry about there. I always think that door's gonna be openable. Well, you wanna look up at me? Bachelor Dankovsky. We were just talking about you last night. Did something happen at the town hall? Or is this just a social call? We? Who is we? Who did you discuss me with? Victor, who else? He thinks you are a paranoid man who sees conspiracies everywhere. I argued with him, but I believe it was in vain. Just now, you shuddered. You are indeed obsessed with control. The mere thought that someone might have control over you makes you miserable. Being paranoid doesn't mean I'm not being watched. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Why are you holding on to that thought this way? The immortal man died the exact day I arrived in town. Is that not enough? It's a coincidence, albeit an unfortunate one. You aren't paranoid, no. You're apophenic. You need to see connections, even where chaos reigns supreme. This so-called chaos seems to be working against me. The town is closed, and I can't return to the capital, where they're murdering my brainchild. Isn't this scheme a bit complicated? Couldn't your enemies just close your lab, regardless of whether or not you were in the capital? You don't know these people. At least I hope not. Academia is a serpentarium. All communities are ambitious people are alike. Whatever you do, sooner or later it always ends in the Ides of March. My Ides are happening right now, unfortunately, without me. Looking at you now, I can't understand what Simon saw in you. It's like you aren't one person, but several. One moment you amaze me with your brilliant mind, the next you whimper like a frightened child. Do you know what Simon thought of me? You just brightened up. I like this version of you better. You're here to talk about Simon, aren't you? Did you know Simon was planning to build a new town on the other side of the Gorkon? Is there something wrong with the current one? This town. For years, it was an eyesore on the Gorkon's banks. A wild place. What you see now is a transformation. The work of many people. Simon, the Anerotechs, other luminaries. People with the will to see the foundations of utopia. The Anerotechs. I think I've heard of them. Oh, doubtless. Yulia Lyusheva, at the very least. The woman who mapped out our streets. And Farkad, who built both the cathedral and your current residence, the Stillwater. There were others, young, inspired, full of the most daring ideas. These are the sorts of people our family gathered to us. To build a utopia. To reach it. You cannot build a utopia, merely a staircase to assist in the ascent to perfection. That's what Simon promised to us all. Perfection. Transition to another plane of reality. And to that end, he proposed first transitioning to the other shore, at the very least. What's the point? Will changing the town's location make a difference? Do you believe in a clean slate? For as long as I knew him, Simon sought a way to shed the burden of the past, rather than carry it forward into the future. Perhaps that was part of his longevity, the secret you so fervently seek. As for the town, Simon wanted to free it from itself. One thing that troubles me about this approach, how exactly do you wipe the slate clean? Burn everything out? You have excellent intuition, Dr. Dankovsky. You are asking all the right questions, but you'll have to search for the answers on your own, like Simon did. You're speaking in riddles again. I thought we were past that stage. I cannot tell you more than I understand myself, or more than you can understand, for now. All right, let's leave it alone. You were telling me about the project of a town on the other side of the river. What's throwing me off here, that gave me pause literally a moment ago, where I was like, hang on a minute, how did I put this? He said that Yulia designed the streets, but Yulia's like right here, and she's like a young to middle-aged woman. How long has this town existed? A couple decades? I can see why she'd be torn about being exiled if she designed the entire city, apparently. She said they designed the streets. But also then, like, how rapid, like, you expect the wiping the slate clean, building a new city would be an escape from some long history, like generations of being here, maybe even millennia. But notes like that make it sound like they're escaping very recent history, like they just built this town. I thought the town had been here for ages, and then they added these couple of special relics like the polyhedron very recently. I'm not sure if I can really reconstruct the timeline, honestly. So, Simon's disciples, those who channeled his will into architecture, street curves, bridge spans, all worked together for a utopia. Their legacy is easiest to see here, in the stone ward. The polyhedron, among others. And then, it's like that rhyme about the chorus. The cat with the fiddle, all tattered and torn, the cow and the maiden, all forlorn. Their song was beautiful before each one began to play their own tune. And then Farquaad died. There was always an and then. And then the plague struck. And then Simon died. And then his friend and ally, Isidore, died as well. And here we are. Qui fatum e fruca est pendere, haud metriger unda. The Honorable Georgie is glad for pleasant company. I'm glad to learn more about his immortal brother. He's really locked into the current animations when I talk to him, so he's just like not getting any closer to me. Dankovsky, I've been expecting you. Tell me, have you managed to find Simon's body? I have a suspicion that you know all too well who stole the body. You don't need me to tell you. Don't we? Why would we ask you to find it if we knew all about it already? To test me. And you've passed the test with flying colors, Dankovsky. Tell me the name of the thief. Before I name the thief, tell me, what kind of punishment awaits him? Oh, so you care about the thief's fate. Why would you? I know his motives. They are noble enough. So touching. One doctor stepping in to protect another. But tell me, Dankovsky, can you see into another's soul? Is it not the darkest place? Especially if it's the soul of Stanislav Rubin. He was the one who stole the body, wasn't he? If you knew the thief's name all along, why did you ask me to find him? Why did you waste my time? We didn't know. It was just a guess. A guess for you to confirm or refute. And you've just confirmed it. Perhaps you've got some idea why he did it. He's obviously not in his right mind. He can't cope with his grief. Rubin has convinced himself that Simon's body can do miracles. You disagree with him? You think he's wrong? I guess everyone grieves in their own way. You're evading the question. I expected more from you. Expected you to be more decisive. It's your colleague we're talking about, after all. I'd like to intervene on his behalf. No one suffered due to his actions. A dead body can't feel pain. We will take your statement into consideration. You're free to go now. Siu Musuke. I'm dying of mania. Ah! Ooh. Ooh. Yum yums. Oh my god, the super speed. That's also wrapped up. Do I have a note from Isidore Burke? It says I do. Isidore Burke, a colleague of mine, the best doctor in town, summoned me here with the letter that promised something sensational. What's going on there? Oh. So Victor is still mourning in the same place. When I approached that place last time, I shot myself, but I think that's just because I was out of things to do for the day. At the end of the tutorial. Or something had to happen. Anyone have some blue? Anyone have some blue? Oh yeah, it's out here. Oh, wait, ooh.
The clock's hand comes to a standstill.
Might want to reduce the rate at which I'm taking damage here. Yeah, because I only have the one healing item.
The town dribbles.
Better. It's weird not having a sprint meter, like a stamina meter. I know real life people don't have stamina meters, but real life people have physical bodies that they can feel. And so you do have a sense of how tired you are and so on from your physical experience of living in your body. So meters like that are kind of like a abstracted representation of those kinds of internal feelings. Like I just kind of hit shift, and then other times I just hit shift in a variety of contexts, and it just like either works or doesn't work. And it just feels a little weird as a result. Story saved. I need to stop. But I guess I might as well travel up here towards Victor, and that'll prime me to check out what's going on with him next time. Ooh. We'll get there, damn it. Yep, they're all filled in as being confirmed. Kulan isn't listed as confirmed. Huh. I wonder if I can go back and actually get a vaccine for that day or not. I'm not sure how that works. It was when things were still getting set up. Maybe we'll have context at some point. But not now.